I have tried lots of different ways to capture behind the scenes content of myself when I'm filming, and this is definitely the easiest way to do it. Of course, the best option is if you can get somebody to come with you and film the behind the scenes content for you, but if you're like me and like to film a lot, it's not always that easy to get somebody to come with you. So that's why I have made this funky looking setup. The fan is making some weird noise. For example, I have tried capturing behind the scenes content with a tripod. It works, but the problem there is that there's a big chance you move out of the frame, and also when you change position you also have to move the tripod around all the time. I have tried having my DJI Action 4 attached to my hat. The footage looks great, but it gets uncomfortable after a while and also your hat starts to feel heavy. Then I have also tried having my Action 4 attached to my chest. It's more comfortable than having it on the head, but the angle looks worse, so the problem is that the framing isn't great. Sometimes when you have it on the chest and film, your hands and camera can get out of frame, and that's not good. For the camera that's gonna capture the behind the scenes content, I'm using a DJI Action 4. And for the main camera, I'm using a FX30. Good thing with the FX30 is that it comes with a lot of inbuilt screw holes, so it's gonna be really easy to attach everything to it, but if you don't have these, then you just have to use the bottom hole on your camera body or buy a cage for your camera, then it's gonna be a lot easier. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna also attach my external monitor on here so we can see what I'm filming a bit better. And now we are ready for filming. Another problem with capturing behind the scenes content with a tripod is that it can be a bit of a struggle to always carry the tripod with you to just capture behind the scenes content, and also it's time consuming to always set up the tripod and get the framing correct. With this setup you can just slap it on and press record and you get your behind the scenes footage. And it's also really lightweight, doesn't take a lot of space, so it's really easy to carry with you in your camera bag all the time. Look at my beautiful whip. The audio you are hearing right now is straight from the DJI Action 4, and in my opinion it's really good. So when I'm shooting behind the scenes content with this rig, I usually just use the audio straight from the Action 4, so I don't have to have an external microphone. The lighting is pretty harsh, but what can you do? It's midday, so the sun is blasting full power and no clouds. My settings on the Action 4 is 4K 25 FPS with rock steady, auto exposure, auto white balance and color mode normal, just to keep the editing process easy and fast. It's also super easy to switch from horizontal mode to vertical mode if you want to shoot social media content. I wasn't satisfied with the content that I got, so we came back in the evening with my friend Vinny to shoot some more content. Back at the studio. I just watched the footage and noticed that the camera monitor is actually out of focus, and that's not good. Then I did some googling and noticed that the minimum focus distance of the Action 4 is 40 centimeters. So I had to do some changes. I added a small rig cheese plate here and switched out the monitor mount just so it adds more space between this monitor and the Action 4. So now it should be barely 40 centimeters away from the monitor. Yeah, let's go. You just have to test out and see which attachments work for you and your setup. If you're asking yourself right now, why would I even need to capture behind the scenes content? Well, let me explain why I do it. Always when I see some really nice footage captured by someone, I always wonder how did they capture it, and I would love to see the process of them capturing it. So instead of just showing the perfect final video, I also want to share my process of making that video, because I know from experience that people will find it so much more interesting if you show the process of you making that video instead of just showing the final perfect product. So that's why I want to capture as much BTS content as possible, and that's also why I made this rig, so it would be as easy as possible to capture the behind the scenes content. Alright, hopefully you can build your own behind the scenes rig after this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.